Hey, what's up everybody? Chris here, and today I'm bringing you my review of Bowser's Fury. Hey, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Please be sure to give the video a thumbs up so you'll know when more content's on the way. So I think when it comes to Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, you've got a few different gamers in mind to think about here. So I think first you've got people who never had a Wii U, never played Mario 3D World, and of course are interested in that game. And for them, Bowser's Fury is just sort of icing on the cake. They get to enjoy both. And if you've never played Mario 3D World, absolutely it's worth picking up. Even if you don't care at all about Bowser's Fury, I'm just going to say right out of the gate, you should get it if you have a Switch. If you've never played the game, it's absolutely worth it. Then I think you've got people who did have a Wii U and did have Mario 3D World and are interested in the game and are trying to make a decision about whether or not it's worth shelling out $60 again to try and see what this new add-on is all about. So I actually just finished playing the game. I beat, the story, as it were, for Bowser's Fury. I got the game in the mail from Amazon this afternoon at about 5 o'clock. It's about 11 o'clock now, a little thereafter PM. I finished playing it sort of intermittently throughout the day, and I would say in total it probably took me about 3 hours to beat the whole game. So I'm just going to say right out of the gate, if you are interested in this collection just for Bowser's Fury, I don't think it's worth $60 just by itself. Again, it didn't take me long to beat it. I'm about halfway there in terms of the cat shines that you collect. This game does not use stars. It doesn't use moons like you saw in Mario Odyssey. It uses something called cat shines because the entire thing is feline themed. It's sort of building on what you see in Mario 3D World with the cat suit. But again, I got about half, so I got 50 of the 100 cat shines that you can get in the game in about a 3-hour period. Now, as a standalone thing, I would say this is a game. It's not fully realized, I don't think. It feels like sort of a game in progress, but there is enough here to sort of say that this is a game. And I think Nintendo could sell this sort of as a standalone thing for maybe, I don't know, 20 bucks, even that, might be pushing it for some people. $15 or $20 I think would be reasonable. But of course, it's not going to have the breadth and depth of something like Mario 3D World or even Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, which I just went back and sort of replayed to get ready to get back into Mario 3D World, which I did finish on the Wii U. I've seen some people say that they think it's got some elements and some motion that's sort of associated with Mario Odyssey in it, and I would say that that's true in the sense that you can rotate the camera a full 360 degrees. It's got a photo mode where you can stop the gameplay and take pictures and examine your environment and all of that sort of stuff. But again, I wouldn't say that this has, all of what you would expect with something like Mario Odyssey, especially when it comes to sort of the transformation mechanic there where you throw your cap and, are sort of absorbed into the enemy or the character that you're facing. This doesn't really have any of that at all. This is more of Mario 3D World expansion pack sort of thing, but what it does have going for it that I think is kind of interesting and makes it more compelling than it might otherwise be is sort of and I don't know that this comparison really works, but sort of a Majora's Mask sort of thing. So in sort of the background of the level that you're working in here, and I should say the world, it's one giant open map. So there aren't sort of transitions between areas that are masked between going through pipes and that sort of thing. But in the background is Bowser, who's been taken over by sort of this venomish kind of black goop that has turned him into sort of this enraged monster. And so every so often he sort of emerges from this goop as sort of a spiky shell, and then he sort of turns into this giant Godzilla type creature. And his son Bowser Jr. has enlisted your help to try and bring him back down to Earth. And of course Mario, because he's a good guy, accepts, but reluctantly so. To face down Bowser, in his various iterations throughout the course of this 2 to 3 hour campaign, you have to receive cat shines or find cat shines, which are like stars or moons, by going through different areas of this large map. And when you get enough of these at different points, you can turn into sort of giant Super Saiyan Mario. And this whole thing is sort of a, what if we had a Mario versus Godzilla motif going on? What would that look like? How cool would that be? And I think that this is sort of an experiment in that sense, and I think that it mostly works. It is fun, but I will say that the times that you have to face off against Bowser in both your giant cat Mario form and his giant Godzilla Bowser form, the camera can be super aggravating. He goes through a bunch of different phases, and I don't want to spoil the game, but there are times where you really need to be able to rotate the camera quickly, and it just feels kind of sluggish when you're doing that and kind of slow. And the screen does give you sort of an indicator of where Bowser is if he's off sort of your field of view, but it can be aggravating to try and keep track of him so that you can avoid his attacks and actually survive the encounter. Now, I would say that in no way is this a difficult game. There were, in the 50 shines that I've collected at this point, a few different segments that really gave me a little bit of headache, and that was probably user error, some imprecise platforming on my part. But at the same time, you know, I think the level design was a little bit cumbersome, especially for one where you're having to go up a tower. There's a lot of lava involved. I probably tackled that one 10 to 15 times before I was able to get through it, which isn't a ton, I suppose, but still, it was, you know, a little bit of a mess. And I may have hurled some expletives at the screen and wanted to just crush my Switch Pro controller, but I stuck with it and finally did get through it despite that headache and aggravation. So overall, yeah, I think it's worth playing, but only if you want to play Mario 3D World also. I would not pay $60 just for this as a standalone experience. But again, if you've never played Mario 3D World, it's absolutely worth checking out. And again, this is just sort of an extra thing, a bonus that you get as a result of that. And it is a lot of fun. The problem, of course, is that it's over really quickly. I've got half of the shines in that 3-hour period. It'll probably take me another 3 hours, maybe a little bit less, to get the other 50 and completely max out the game. And I'm wondering now when I go back in it if Bowser's actually going to be gone, because I've defeated him and sort of relieved him of his goop infestation, but I guess we'll see as I get further along into that. So my recommendation, if you've never played Mario 3D World, you know, don't even worry about Bowser's Fury. Play it, of course, because you've got it bundled in, but get the game, play the game, you'll love it. It's a really great experience. If you're just interested in this because of Bowser's Fury, I would say wait and maybe not get this. You know, Nintendo doesn't tend to put stuff on sale. Maybe eventually they'll sell Bowser's Fury as a standalone thing. Maybe they'll build on it and make it a bigger game. I don't know what their plans are for this in the future, but by itself, I would not say that it's worth $60. So anyway, that's my thought on Bowser's Fury. I'm curious to hear if you've played it, what you think about it, and if you have any questions about it, please be sure to leave those in the comments below. You can find me on Twitter at Dr. Chris Flowers, and I'd love to talk with you there.